Live from WTVO 17 and your home team. Eyewitness News at 5 starts now.
Place your bets. Hard Rock Casino representatives lay it all on the line to secure the future of Rockford's site. Investors say location is key.
High school athletes across the state line warm up for the return of sports. The IHSA board says the months-long timeout could end as soon as tonight.
And if the COVID-19 pandemic has you feeling lonely, local shelters hope you'll consider adopting an animal in need. But there's a list of things to consider before rescuing a pet. Good evening, I'm Mimi Murphy.
And I'm Eric Wilson. The fate of Rockford's Hard Rock Casino still lies in the hands of the Illinois Gaming Board.
But the Forest City is far from rolling the dice. Board members opted to push back decision day by another week. The vote will now take place February 4th. Today, casino leaders presented the plan for the Rockford location. They supplied these renderings of what the building's restaurant, VIP lounge, and other rooms would look like. Investors say the venue's location near I-90 and East State is ideal for bringing in business.
You don't see many locations that the cloverleaf from the interstate actually dumps you in the middle of the property. So not only do you get 70,000 cars a day exposure driving by, the in and out of Rockford, which there's really three limited areas that you can exit that interstate, forces you through this location on one of them.
Those behind the proposal say the $310 million project would create 1,200 permanent jobs.
5 people are dead after a house fire in the Chicago suburbs. 4 of the victims were kids, all younger than 6. It happened around 10 this morning in Des Plaines. Investigators say the kids were pronounced dead at a local hospital. The adult died at the scene. Des Plaines fire chief says all of the victims were related. They haven't been publicly identified. Several agencies responded to the call. One firefighter hurt his knee. Investigators are still looking into what started the fire. Rockford firefighters rescued 2 handicapped people from a house fire. It happened around 1:45 this afternoon on South 6th Street near 10th Avenue Park. As soon as the tenants were brought to safety, crews put out a pair of fires located on the upper floor of the house. No one was hurt. Investigators are still looking into what sparked the flames. Coming up at 6, firefighters share some of the extra challenges they face in freezing weather.
Illinois' high school sports schedule for the rest of the school year is announced. The IHSA gave the green light for sports to return under Tier 1 mitigation. The IHSA Board of Directors met for a special board meeting Tuesday where they approved the updated schedule and other guidelines for all sports. All high school sports teams will have to host practice on 7 different days before competitions. Winter sports could begin practicing as early as tonight, with games beginning in a week. Sports Director Scott Leber will have a full breakdown of what that means for state line athletes. That's coming up later in sports. Scientists say multiple coronavirus variants are making their way into the United States. Some are more contagious than others. As vaccines begin to be distributed in larger quantities, many wonder if the shot will protect them against different strains of the virus. Swedish American Hospital's pharmacy director says not to worry. He tells us because vials of the vaccine are manufactured at a faster pace than other immunizations, they can be altered just as quickly.
Manufacturers are able to monitor trends across the world, and if a particular mutation is identified that looks like it is maybe more resilient to the vaccine, that vaccine can be changed that vaccine can end up being changed to make it more potent for that virus.
Experts say both the Moderna and Pfizer vaccines can be altered to address resistant strains of COVID-19.
From Kamala Harris being sworn in as the nation's vice president to a state line woman making history at Rockford United Labor, glass ceilings are breaking across the country.
Michelle Rave caught up with Sarah Dorner, who she says hopes to inspire girls to dream big.
I am the first woman to hold this position. We've had several women on the board before. I was also the first vice president.
Sarah Dorner makes history after Rockford United Labor names her president. She's the first to hold the position in 66 years. It's been a long road for Dorner, having been a staff representative for AFSCME for 7 years.
Before that, I was a labor representative in Minnesota. Before that, I was a flight attendant and got my feet wet that way.
NIU Associate History Professor Dr. Rosemary Foyer says now more than ever, it's important to see women in leadership roles.
It's a promising thing to have a woman vice president for the first time. And what's phenomenal about Sarah being in this position is that she represents the workers in our society who do two jobs.
Dr. Foyer says although it's exciting to see more women in those roles, there's still more room for improvement.
It's long past due that people pay attention to the women who are doing the work that's helping us survive in 2021.
Dorner says she hopes she can inspire the next generation of women.
I have a daughter and she's 7, and I want her and any other little girls to know that you being a woman is not a disadvantage. She can be authentic and be herself, and I think that is something that women bring to the table, and I'm really excited about promoting that the next year or two.
Reporting in Rockford for your home team, I'm Michelle Rave.
The Forest City's latest housing numbers are in, and despite a global pandemic, real estate agents say 2020 was our region's best year on record. Over the last 12 months, the average price of a home rose more than $12,000. That led to the highest average price ever, nearly $152,000. Rockford Area Realtors CEO Connor Brown says a strong housing market often leads to a strong economy.
As people look to buy durable goods, making investments in their current home, maybe they're making a change in terms of, the new house that they just purchased, that cycles through the economy.
Brown says housing inventory is at an all-time low. It dropped more than 33% from 2019. The COVID-19 pandemic has some people finding a little extra time on their hands as they spend more time at home.
But the health crisis also comes with fear of the unknown, making people feel anxious. Ari Bruckman offers one solution to both issues: adopting a furry friend.
We have a lot of puppies. Do you have an agreement? We'll have a lot more puppies coming that will need homes. Do you have something on paper? The need for adoption is pretty high right now.
Noah's Ark Animal Sanctuary has been helping the Rockford area's abused, unwanted, and neglected animals for the last 41 years. Recent uncertainty created by the COVID-19 pandemic means employees are seeing a surplus of puppies. Kennel technician Trevor Mason says dogs can provide an emotional outlet.
I suffer from really bad anxiety, and it's nice to have that outlet. If I'm having a bad day or an anxiety attack, I can climb in a cage with a dog and I feel a lot better. For anyone, really, yeah. It's a good anxiety relief.
According to the Journal of the American Medical Association, over 40 million people across the U.S. are impacted by anxiety. Christopher Gonzalez has owned a dog for most of his life and is hoping to adopt another.
Having a dog is like having another sibling. It's more than just a dog. You treat them like family, and they're behind you every step of the way. Whenever you break down, he's right there. Adopting a dog will bring happiness into the house. Just trying to stay positive and, overcome battles.
Before becoming an owner, Noah's Ark staff stressed to me the importance for dogs to be in a good environment.
We usually get a lot of the older families that come in for the older dogs that we need adopted out, that'll need the special care and treatment. Look for someone that's going to take the time to train the dog. Good homes, make sure they're not going to get returned. We're here for the community, It's nice to see the community help, and we help when we can.
In Rockford, for your home team, I'm Ari Bruckman.
We could certainly use some station dogs around here.
So cute.
President Biden calls on Congress to spend more to get students back into the nation's classrooms.
Coming up, the price tag has some lawmakers pushing back. The path forward Democratic leaders are now considering.
And creatives turn snow into art. Coming up tonight at 6, we show you the process behind turning flurries into a memorial honoring a Forest City leader.
And despite the sunshine we had out there this afternoon, temperatures fell below average, staying in the low, even mid-20s. We've got a couple colder days ahead. Find out when the chill leaves and when the snow could return. Coming up in your most trusted forecast a little later.
You're watching Eyewitness News, your home team, with Eric Wilson, Mimi Murphy, Sports Director Scott Leber, and Chief Meteorologist Candice King.
President Joe Biden wants students back in the classroom. He says making that happen will rely heavily on Congress.
The president's called on lawmakers to approve $130 billion additional funding for schools. But Jesse Tenor reports the money's become a sticking point in negotiations for Republicans. Eyewitness News is keeping you connected to the nation's capital.
The Senate will soon begin the process of considering legislation.
Majority Leader Chuck Schumer is ready to move on President Joe Biden's coronavirus relief package, but Republicans still have reservations.
I'm hoping there's better things than what we've seen this first week of the administration.
For Louisiana Senator Bill Cassidy, it comes down to funding for schools. Cassidy argues the federal government spends about $60 billion every year on K-12 public schools. Congress already doubled that amount during the pandemic. And now President Biden is asking lawmakers to approve $130 billion more for schools to return to the classroom full time.
What? Where's this coming from? You want to give them 3 times that, and yet teachers' unions won't open, even though science says it's safe to do so.
The Biden administration would use those funds for new ventilation systems, updated safety guidelines, and widespread testing and tracing efforts.
We should be able to open up every school, kindergarten through 8th grade, if in fact we administer these tests.
If Congress can't reach a bipartisan agreement, the now Democrat-controlled Senate may move forward without Republicans.
It's not our preference, but dealing with this crisis in a bold and sufficient way is a necessity.
Schumer is considering the budget reconciliation process that allows major legislation to pass on a simple majority vote. But Cassidy hopes Democrats don't go there.
If President Biden meant it when he said he wants to work on a bipartisan basis, we'll see if he means it.
In Washington, I'm Jesse Tenor.
It was a beautiful sunny day across the state line, but that sun did not do much to improve our temperatures. In fact, it's going to get a lot colder.
Yeah, we could get down to 0 tonight. When we come back, Candice has our chances for weekend snow.
Now, your first warned weather forecast with Chief Meteorologist Candice King.
You know, some of the snowfall we've had over the last couple of days, and really what we had come down late Monday night and yesterday morning, made for some beautiful scenery. Have to say a big thank you to Carissa for sharing this picture. And this is actually our cover photo, too, to our Eyewitness News Facebook page. And you can share your winter weather photos or just any sort of weather or nature photos, and you might even get those featured on our cover page. Love to see them. Weather at WTVO.com. That's where you can share any of those photos. Now we've got another opportunity for some snow to come heading into the weekend, but none of that for tonight. In fact, clearing skies, quite the opposite of that cloudy sky, but that clear sky over the freshly fallen snow means it is going to get cold tonight. We had an area of low pressure down south today. That's where some of the cloud cover kind of worked in from the south and lifting up to the north. But as high pressure builds in, that is allowing our skies to clear out. And you see those temperatures, many of us already in the teens, 16 in Freeport, 17 in Rochelle and DeKalb, and 18 right now down in Dixon. 19, our weather watcher Ben this evening checking in South Beloit. Dew point number of 7, so very dry out there. 20 degrees here in Rockford. Bob's checking in on the southeast side, and Mike just north of Forest, and already down to 18 degrees underneath that clear sky. Down to 0, that's it. That's where we had tonight, but I would not be surprised if a few spots get down to 1, 2, or even 3 below with that high pressure coming in. And with a little bit of a breeze, that wind chill will drop down to about 10 to even 15 degrees below 0 tomorrow morning. We're up to 20 for tomorrow afternoon. It's another cold day, but we've got the sunshine. As we go throughout the day tomorrow, high pressure builds in. We might get a little patchy fog, especially west of us during the morning tomorrow. We'll see sunshine again and some patchy fog again tomorrow night going into Friday. No issues for us Friday. Winds will start to pick up from the southeast. We will begin to see a little bit of cloud cover move in, which is a sign of a bit more moisture moving in as our next storm system takes shape out over the west. In fact, area of low pressure currently just off the British Columbia coast will work in across the northwest and west coast over the next few days. This will develop an area of low pressure down from the Rockies through the Central Plains. That'll move through Missouri and then somewhere into central and southern Illinois as we head into Saturday. So it is becoming more likely that we are going to see accumulating snowfall either late Saturday afternoon or evening beginning and then lasting into the day on Sunday. There is the potential for several inches of snow, another high impact event with some heavy and wet snow coming down. Now, keep an eye on the forecast because things may change a little bit with the overall track. But again, that potential is there to have some impacts here as we go through the weekend. Behind that, just a couple of flurries, guys, going into early next week. Not a big drop either in our numbers as we stay in the 20s by early next week.
All right, thanks, Candice.
Scott's in next with sports.
We'll go into more detail about when high school sports teams can begin competing, plus some comments from the head of the IHSA.
Now, the Napleton Sports Desk with Sports Director Scott Leber.
High school athletes have gotten what they wanted, a chance to compete. The IHSA has decided to proceed with all 3 remaining sports seasons this school year, winter, spring, and summer. All will be held between now and June 19th. High school basketball season can begin once teams have 7 practice dates under their belts, so conceivably there could be games played at the end of next week. The same goes for the other winter sports of boys swimming and diving, boys and girls bowling, dance, and cheerleading. The fall sports that didn't get played last year that got moved to the spring have now been pushed back a couple weeks. So football season, which was to begin March 5th, will now begin March 19th, and the season will run through April 24th. Girls volleyball will also run during that time, and the summer sports, including baseball and softball, will begin the second week of April and run through mid-June. The trade-off in preserving all the sports seasons is they'll all be short and there won't be any postseasons in most of these sports. No tournament play in basketball, no playoffs in football. The other reason for no postseason play is the IHSA wants teams to compete only against other teams in their region or conference. Summer sports might be able to have an abbreviated postseason. That'll be addressed down the road. The IHSA realizes not everybody's going to be happy with this, but it achieved its main goal of allowing all students to compete in their favorite sport.
I think it's I think it's a realistic plan for our schools to engage their students. While there could be some issues with some regions being able to play certain sports, and that's something we'll have to consider if they couldn't play within the timeline that our board approved. And obviously we'll cross that bridge when we get there, but really no conversations about canceling any of our sports.
All student athletes will be required to wear masks, with the exception being swimmers. For regions that are in Phase 4, the Illinois mitigations, up to 50 fans can attend the events as long as the host school agrees to that. Regions in Tier 1 can have up to 25 spectators at the games. Tonight at 9 and 10, I'll have reaction from some of our local coaches and athletes. We'll be right back.
Sworn interactive radar brought to us by Rockford Auto Glass and More. Clearing skies for us tonight means it is going to be a cold night tonight. You've got a beautiful view of the moon rising, though, looking off to the east, but it's going to be cold. Temperatures in the teens already, down near 0 as we go through the night tonight. Up to 20 for tomorrow, but we will continue with that sunshine. 6 tomorrow night. 27 on Friday. Winds will pick up from the southeast. Weekend going to be a little windy, at least going into it. We've got the potential for more accumulating snowfall coming up late Saturday afternoon into the evening and overnight. Temperatures then staying in the 20s, guys, for next week.
At least it's sunny.
That's a one way to look at it. Thanks, Candice. Stay safe.